of talk to me again. What's your take on Michigan again in 2023? What do you expect?
2023, I will say this: their schedule is trash. It's going to be easy. I don't think Ohio State is that. I mean, it's tougher. But I honestly think Michigan wins this game. And I'm telling you why, man. Home field advantage. I'm going to give you that one. I don't have the stats pulled up currently. It's a big house, man. And I just think that Jim Harbaugh, man, is like this thing, like, you know this, man. You followed anybody that's been watching that knows anything about football, man. Jim Harbaugh is getting asked to go to the NFL every fucking year, bro. I know he came back there. That was I think he was on the hot seat a couple years ago. It was like, I think in his contract, it's like, you have to beat Ohio State, right? I mean, that was the big thing. He's done it the last 2 years. Does that mean he's going to do it this year? No, that's not a guarantee. I just like the pieces that Michigan has coming back versus kind of an unknown quarterback room back there with Ohio State. I'm not saying that Ohio State isn't going to be good this year or isn't going to be relevant. No, not at all. I think they're definitely going to be. Ryan Day is a hell of a head coach. I think Michigan gets this one. A lot of it I put on the home field advantage. And I know last time we saw Michigan get their fucking doors blown off on defense against TCU, but I think they get this one this year again and actually turn the tide a little bit, bro. It isn't a rivalry unless, both teams are winning, bro. It's not this, I know it was previous today where it was just an ass kicking of Ohio State over Michigan, but Michigan still leads that series, bro. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I mean, you're right. Michigan still does lead the series. In recent history, exactly like you said, Ohio State's got that ass. Here's my take on Michigan. This is just some quick observations. Offense is going to have to carry this team. I mean, they really do. They're going to have to be able to throw the ball in big games because, look, at the end of the day, most of the teams you play in the Big Ten, they've got pretty decent front sevens, and they can sort of stop. They can stuff you. Now, granted, what do they do really well? They run the football really well. They have 2-3 electric running backs who are really awesome. I mean, two of which are up for a Heisman, this year. Yeah. Could be.
Yeah.
So I think that they're going to have to figure that portion of it out. The other side of it, to me, Chris, is they're similar. When I was breaking down and I was looking at Ohio State and I was looking at a lot of these different setups between Ohio State and Michigan, they're very similar, believe it or not, to Ohio State. They do have, I would say probably the biggest question mark is their secondary. They're going to have to get their secondary figured out and really shored up. Look, here's my reality on it. And this is going to piss some Michigan fans off. That's fine. I get it, right? But even you have to admit, when you look at these teams and you break down the rosters, from a talent standpoint, I don't think they're – and granted, this is a team that I believe did pretty damn good last year. If I'm not mistaken, they made it all the way to the college football playoff. Majority of those guys are coming back. This is still a team to me that I look across the board and I'm like, wow, you've got some big names in the running back room, but who's that guy? Who's that elite playmaker for Michigan that really jumps off the board at you on either defense and or on offense, other than those two running backs?
Right.
I struggle to find it. I don't think, and they have some good wide receivers, not great, not excellent.
Is David Bell back? The guy, the wide receiver they had last year. Is he back? I can't believe I don't know this off the top of my head. I think he is. I'm gonna find out here in a second. I thought he was actually very underrated last year. I think it's his name. It's not. Is it? It's not David Bell. What the hell is his name? The guy that had it at whiteout. This is terrible. I feel like a fucking idiot on this podcast, not knowing exactly his name. Everybody knows. I think he wore number 7 or whatever the hell he was. Here's my thing, though. I'm not disagreeing with what you're saying. A lot of people are going to look at Blake Corum and go, "Yeah, this guy, Edwards." Did you not? I guess here's what I'm gonna dial this down even a little bit tighter, Christian, since you got such a hard on for Ohio State. Were you not impressed with JJ McCarthy in the playoffs?
I mean, listen, from what I can see with it, I mean, he did all right, but
you weren't that impressed. No. But I mean,
yeah,
Michigan put up some fucking points in that game. It wasn't their offense that was a problem. It was their fucking defense.
Right. And that's the problem, right? It's, look, at the end of the day, you should put up 60, 70 points on TCU. You want to be elite?
Between me and you got that fucking boner that that is knocking over tables and you can't even get through a doorway because of what Georgia did, your boys did to TCU. I mean,
Hey,
you
brother,
were the guy that came on here. I mean, is a fucking second string better than, TCU's, first string? Come on, bro. That was
they were
one
knocking
game.
them down. Listen, let me ask you a question. Let me ask you. Look, I can see you're getting upset over there. It's all right. Look,
I'm not
calm
upset
down.
about it, bro. I'm just saying you got such a hard on for Georgia in that last game against TCU. Did you bet TCU in that game? On one of your bets?
Yeah. I figured I'd win either way. I'm a Georgia fan. Fuck it. Why not?
The cock on this guy. I mean, but did you
Slightly
really
below
deep
average.
down in your heart think, yeah, TCU's got a shot, man? I know. I told you last year before the season started, Georgia's the best team in college football until somebody proves me wrong. And nobody proved me wrong last year.
Listen, did I think TCU had a shot? Maybe. Crazier shit's happened. I mean, let's just be real. It has. Supposedly, right? And what you're saying is, don't get me wrong. I think Michigan's offense was they were all right. Here's the reason why I say that. You're letting a fourth-year walk-on in Stetson Bennett, who, again, I think is very underrated for what he does, right?
Right.
He picked them apart. So you're telling me right now, with worse running backs, and don't get me wrong, they're good running backs down there at the University of Georgia, but you're telling me from bigger name standpoint, Kenny McIntosh, Kendall Milton, Branson Robinson, those are bigger names than Blake Corum, Dylan Edwards? Is that what you're telling me?
I think Blake Corum is better than any running back you guys got.
I agree with you. I think Dylan Edwards arguably will be up there.
But I also think that Michigan's offensive line, which if you haven't paid attention, and I know you've been sucking off the SEC for the last how many years, I don't think that they're as good as Michigan's offensive line. I thought Michigan's offensive line was fine. And like I said, I don't have the stats here to pull up everybody back, but they kind of reload every year, man. A lot of those guys are finding themselves in the NFL. I just think, and get down to, Michigan's expectations, I know their schedule is PUD, right? And it doesn't, that sucks for my argument. I don't have, you're not fucking playing anybody. It makes it hard when it comes down to that kind of Ohio State game where it's kind of the make or break. I think both teams will be undefeated when they play each other in that game. I truly do. I just think with Michigan, I thought J.J. McCarthy personally in that game showed me that he can play under the brightest of lights. And I thought he played well, barring the turnovers. The kid's young. He's not a great passer. He reminds me more of a running quarterback. But, man, he's athletic back there. And athletic quarterbacks have a lot of success against Ohio State. The Big Ten's not really known for athletic quarterbacks. This isn't the SEC. I think I got a little leeway there, and I keep telling you, man, I know it's not the end-all, be-all, but being in the big house, I think Michigan's got a really good chance of winning this, and I truly would put my money in that game, whatever the fuck the spread is. Up to that point, I would put my money on Michigan to win that game.
Well, first of all, I'm looking at his stats right now. He had 2 interceptions in that game, took 3 sacks.
He did.
I mean, look, at the end of the day, the kid had a 76.4 QBR in that game. Look, here's the reality of the situation, and this is not too unsimilar to what Ohio State's been going through the last couple of years, is turnovers in big games. And I'm not saying, look, if he has 1 turnover, okay, but your defense has to come to play. I mean, that's the reality of it. The Michigan, every year in and year out, has multiple guys that get drafted on the defensive side of the ball. I'm not saying that they're without talent. Okay, I want to make sure that's very well known right now. I'm not saying Michigan does not have good defensive talent. I am just saying, for whatever reason, they get in big games against people and they start folding like a bunch of bitches in the wind. Okay, I don't even know if that's a saying. I'm just saying they have got to figure it out. The other side of this, and I will concede this. I think he looked all right. Am I going to go out of my way and say, hey, he put himself on that pedestal? Like, did he have the same performance that CJ Stroud had against Georgia last year in a playoff game?
No,
because that is the measure that you have to really do.
Agreed. And what you're saying isn't wrong, but I'm going to argue with your ass anyway, because I think you're full of shit. CJ Stroud, if he was so fucking good, why didn't he beat him last year? Michigan won that goddamn game. Why didn't? Oh, wait, your boy that you've been, giving a smooth hand job to didn't beat him the year before either. So my point is I seriously think Michigan has kind of established a turnaround in that fucking God. They were getting their ass kicked there for years by Ohio State. I truly feel like this is kind of a 50-50 coin flip game. I know we haven't seen any football. There's going to be a lot of football played up until that point because it's always late in the season. I truly believe in my heart. Like I just think Michigan has a little bit more experience. The quarterback position is very important to me in college football, in my take. Obviously, it's not yours. You just feel like you could just feel Ohio State could throw Jared Lorenzen 2.0, which would be you back there, and you guys are competing for a fucking national title. I mean, am I wrong?
Listen here. If you don't sit your geriatric looking ass down, it's past your bedtime. All right, like
yeah,
let's
wrong.
Calm down.
You're not wrong.
No, I think, and I will agree with you on this. I think quarterback position is one of the most. You got to have a returning quarterback. You got to have some production there. It is very hard. It is very hard to fight for a playoff spot when you have a first-year quarterback. It can be done, but it's really difficult.